Today, I want to demonstrate using a Nashville tuned guitar to complement an acoustic guitar part. A Nashville tuned guitar can really help a section shine and get just a little bit bigger. I'll get further into what a Nashville tuning is as we go through the video, and I'll show you how I mix these tracks, but I've got an arrangement that we'll work with, so let's start by taking a listen. First, I want to add the standard tuned guitar part because we're going to use the same chords and strumming when we add the Nashville guitar. Now we want to layer a Nashville guitar on top of this. This is a great technique to use to add a little extra sparkle to a section, such as a chorus or any section that you need to get a little bigger. The guitar I'm going to use is my grandfather's guitar, a 1940s Kalamazoo, basically a pre-Gibson. This guitar is an amazing guitar, and it turned out to be the perfect choice for a Nashville tuning. As you can probably tell, the Nashville tuning is much higher than the standard tuning, and to do this requires a different set of strings. I use the DAW set made specifically for this. You also need to have your guitar set up for these strings, as they use much less tension and won't play well on a guitar that isn't set up for them. Let's take a listen to what they sound like in comparison to a standard guitar. Here is a standard tuned guitar playing open strings and then a G chord. This guitar is an old Larrivee with some custom work on it. Now here's the Nashville tuned guitar playing the same thing, and as I said earlier, it's a 1940s Kalamazoo. Notice how the bottom 4 strings on the Nashville are an octave higher than usual, and the first 2 strings are standard tuned. What this means is I can play exactly the same chords, but they will be revoiced. Not only will I get higher notes from the identical chords, but the arrangement of these pitches will be different. The first 2 strings will sit beneath rather than on top of the chord. As a little aside, the mic I use to record both of these is an AKG 414. These mics will give you a really clear high end, and I love them for acoustic guitars. In my experience, however, you do have to be careful of some frequencies as they can jump out at you. In this case, I found some around 8K that were a little strong. This can also be reduced by your choice of pick and how hard you strum. After working a little more on this, I decided to double track both the standard and the Nashville guitar and pan them both right and left. Let's take a listen. Let's go ahead and solo the standard acoustic guitar, and then we'll solo the Nashville guitars so we can hear them and hear exactly what they sound like. And now the Nashvilles. Where the Nashville guitars come in, I'm treating like a chorus or a bigger section of the tune. I want to hear the sparkle of the Nashville guitars, but I don't want them to become a distraction. If you were to put a vocal or a lead instrument on top of these tracks, I think they would sit nicely. As far as treating the sound goes, on the acoustic guitars, I've got some EQ, and I've got some compression. And then when it goes through the track stack, I've got another compressor, and they're both hitting it very lightly, and then it's also going through some reverb. Just a pure plate reverb from Universal Audio. I like this reverb. It's short. It's not getting in the way of the percussion and the strumming. If we look at the Nashville guitars, once again, I'm hitting both of these tracks, the Nashville guitar tracks, with a little bit of compression, but the bulk of the work is happening through the track stack, where I've got an EQ, a little bit of chorus going on, Valhalla Space Modulator, just a touch of it. The mix is very low. And then I've got it hit with another compressor, and I'm actually hitting this a little hard because I don't want any of the strums to stick out here. I want this just to really blend in with a standard tuned guitar. So let's take another listen to these Nashville guitars. I'll solo them, and I'll turn some of these plugins on and off. We can see what they're doing. I've also played some games with the panning here. The standard tuned acoustics are not panned all the way right and left, but the Nashville guitars are. This means I can add a little extra width in the arrangement when the Nashvilles come in. Alright, so let's take one more listen to the track as it is now. Hopefully, this will give you some ideas for tracking guitars in the future. Nashville tuned guitars are a great trick known by the industry for a long time. It's best if you have a dedicated guitar for this sort of thing, and yes, Nashville tuned electric guitars are a thing as well. Try it out, let me know what you think.